Graduate of the Year, Goodwill of Kanawha Valley presents to someone that is not only achieves, but goes beyond barriers in their life to become successful, working through our programs. And to me, I could not think of any greater person than Bobbie. Bobbie came to us September of 2021. When she came through the door, you could tell she was nervous. And finding out after the fact that she had waited outside the door for a while before she came in, took the elevator up, she was nervous. She was so persistent with us in trying to find that new avenue in her life. I got to know Bobbie very well during this process, and what we know is that she was incarcerated, she had multiple felonies, she had a very tough environment she was trying to break away from. She's someone that needed to find an avenue to break away from that. Bobbie went through our 2-week career development classes. She also reached out to us knowing that she wanted more, and she took some classes on how to read at a better level than what she was, which was a level she knew she needed assistance with. So we went over career development classes, we went over basic reading, we went over computer skills. All these things Bobbie wanted because she knew she needed them. Once you saw that success, you could see the confidence in her just come out. So to be able to take the classes that were offered through Mission Services, she was able to gain that confidence and have more of a springboard into the job development that we eventually would lead through.
She's funny. Bobbie's a funny lady. She likes to joke. She has a great laugh. She has a great smile. Bobbie wouldn't do anything for herself. She was always doing things for everybody else. And it was difficult for her to do something like buy herself a cup of coffee. One day in class, we went over one of the modules and we talked about her just doing one thing, one small thing for herself. She was gonna do it that day and then the next day come in and let me know what she did. So she did, and she was so happy. She was so surprised that she actually bought herself a cold cup from the gas station. And she took a nap, so it was actually 2 things that she did. So we really celebrated that day. At first, Bobbie was really quiet and she was kind of down on herself. She didn't really believe in herself very much. It's really hard for her to trust people. The more she came to class, the more support she had, the more Bobbie came out of her shell. Now she's working. She loves her job. She still contacts us a lot and tells us how she's doing. There's been a big transformation with Bobbie.
My name is Bobbie Meyer. I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. I was born and raised there. I have 2 brothers. Both of my brothers wrestled, and in my school, I was the first girl to be on a wrestling team. At 15, I dropped out of high school. It was a hard life growing up. You did whatever you could to survive. Dad was always in and out of prison. One time, he was so mad at me, he took me in the bathroom and he whipped me from my back down to my legs. I hit the drugs big time because I was depressed, I was mad, started dating abusive men. This last relationship, 18 years being abused, he threw me into a wooden stove and burnt me because I went go get drugs for him. And his mom just sit there and laughed that it was funny. He broke my nose, broke my ribs. It mentally hurt my brain. I finally stood up when I started at the Goodwill. I just had to figure a way to get away from the relationship I was in. And I knew a job would get me there. I've been away from him for about 4 months. The only thing I can tell anybody is build the courage up and call 911 and report it. You don't want to be messed up like I am. I'm still damaged from it because there's sometimes when I'm working, I always ask Whitney if I'm doing a good job or if I'm doing a bad job, because if you've been through what I went through, you don't know if you're doing a good job. You don't know if you can trust anybody. And being here, working here, I feel like I have a family here. It's wonderful feeling. And I've never had that feeling before. I've never had somebody care about me. After about a week from doing the hallways, I went to houseman. I did houseman for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I started going into rooms with the girls, and they were teaching me how to make beds. And then I ended up as a housekeeper, and that made me feel good inside. I just love my floor. I know it all in my head. I have it all down pat. What goes here, what goes there. I love the rooms. I love the guests. Living in a hospital is awesome. I hope my story helps thousands of people. I want it to help people. I want them to know there is people out there that is willing to help you, that is willing to stand up for you. Goodwill, they saved my life. They got me a job. They were easy to talk to, but I was still scared. But Goodwill can help anybody. Even if you think that you're an addict or nobody wants to help you, get the courage to go to the Goodwill.
Personally, it makes me feel amazing to watch somebody transform their life, didn't have a lot of hope, came to Goodwill looking for something, and we're able to fill that need.
She is, to me, someone that shows that if you are persistent and you have a goal and you have people that will help, that anything's possible. She overcame everything, these adversities in her life. And when we met with the Blennerhassett Hotel, they were so open to listening to Bobbie's story. Because a lot of people that we come across, it's very difficult with someone with multiple felonies to get that opportunity. And so to have someone like the Blennerhassett to say, you know what, we're not going to look at the past, let's look at the person. And we told them about how much Bobbie has changed, how much she wants a different life, and they were open to that.
And one thing I tell the program, we have a lot of different opportunities, you know, from front desk to host to serve to bus to janitorial. I said, let's try different places till you find where your passion is. If you're happy, you will want to come to work. So she has really built and grown up. And one thing that really connected with me that I knew Bobbie was really special was because she was leaving and I was coming in, and she stopped me, and I've never seen anyone more excited the fact that she made the bed by herself that day. And I was like, you know what, that's for a guest to come and sleep in a bed and is comfortable and have a good night's sleep. Bobbie does that for them. And I had to call Goodwill and tell them,